Well, alrighty, gang, welcome back to the Gutowski Files, starring our very own Stephen Gutowski. He is, as always, the founder and owner at TheReload.com and the chief editor. Stephen, how are you, sir?
Today's episode is supported by DroneQuote, a veteran-owned business that's a champion for homeowners in the solar and roofing world. These guys are all about honesty, integrity, and doing what's right for the customer. They get you multiple quotes from top installers backed by a 30-year warranty. They even use drones to inspect your roof before and after installation to hold installers accountable. If you value straight answers and want an advocate on your side, don't go solar without DroneQuote, your dedicated homeowner advocates for solar installations nationwide. Hit the link in the description to find out more.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Do you want to talk hair real quick? I don't have a lot of time to talk, but your hair is looking majestic, sir, if I may say.
I'm always here to talk hair, as I think the audience knows by now. My hair journey to get to the dune, end, my goal, looking like Oscar Isaac or some sort of cheap knockoff of Oscar Isaac, at least.
maybe I'm
getting closer.
Oscar Isaac. What's that?
Yeah. And I feel like maybe I'm getting a little closer. I've gone with the full push back instead of like the have a little bit over now. I don't know. Right. Well, I think it does look a little bit better. What do you think?
I do like it. I'm not going to lie. Here's some insider information. You're only going to hear this. This is a scoop you only get on the Gutowski Files, which is John is thinking about trimming his beard way back. So
wow,
maybe in the near future. We'll see.
That's like part of the weight loss journey. I feel like he'll probably cut another couple pounds.
He's so thin now. He looks more cavemanish, with the crazy hair and the beard. But
I think he looks good, though. I don't know. I guess we're a very positive group here at the ASP podcast, complimenting everyone.
Absolutely. All right. Before anyone else tunes out, let me get us started on our first story over at The Reload. The headline, this is from contributing writer Jake Fogelman, and the headline is 2024 GOP platform drops gun rights promises, which is very strange. This is the first I've heard of this. I know the GOP traditionally, the Republican Party, has always been sort of the champion of gun rights, or at least that's been, what they tell you, what they want you to believe. So what's going on over there, Stephen? This seems very strange and kind of very sudden. This is the first time since 2016 they put out a new platform. Is that right?
Yeah, in 2020, they just didn't have a platform. I'm actually, with the way that the party kind of works now, it's sort of Donald Trump's party. In 2020, they just kind of said, and part of it was COVID, but so they didn't have a traditional convention and all that stuff. And so they just kind of said, Trump is the party. He's, what he wants to do, what President Trump wants to do is what the Republican Party wants to do. This time they went back and actually wrote out a platform again. And it's gotten attention for the changes on the pro-life front. This has been sort of a big debate inside the Republican Party over the last year or so since, really going back to the Supreme Court decision in Dobbs that overturned Roe v. Wade, right? And there's been a lot of fallout from that. You've seen a number of ballot initiatives where pro-lifers have lost, even in red states like Kansas. And so there's been consternation in the Republican Party over what the right balance is for abortion policy. And that's been the focus of most of the coverage and discussion about this new platform that they've put out, because it is more moderate on the issue of abortion than the 2016 platform was. Mm-hmm. However, at least the pro-lifers who have been upset about this did get an actual section on pro-life issues. The gun rights folks now had everything completely dropped. There are no policy promises in the 2024 Republican platform regarding gun rights. There's a one sentence reference to protecting the right to keep and bear arms, lumped in with other Bill of Rights protections that they talk about in a single sentence. But they've dropped all of the specific policy proposals that were in the 2016 platform that have to do with gun rights. So pretty stark departure that has not gotten nearly as much discussion since the platform came out. I believe The Reload is the first one to even notice this change.
Yeah, I'd heard about the abortion changes, and I know that, for example, Trump came out publicly as being for or at least not actively against the Plan B abortion pill or whatever.
Right.
And that's also a departure from traditional Republican platform. But
and
do
from
you
what
read
Trump
into
has said
this?
himself. But yeah,
Yeah, do you read into this that they're backing off of their stance on the Second Amendment? I can't imagine that's the case.
well, I mean, it's a bit hard to read it any other way, right? I mean, they here's what the 2016 platform said. By the here's what got cut out essentially.
Okay, yeah,
They wrote in 2016 that the document read, "We support firearms reciprocity legislation to recognize the right of law-abiding Americans to carry firearms to protect themselves and their families in all 50 states. We support constitutional carry status or statutes and salute the states that have passed them. We oppose ill-conceived laws that would restrict magazine capacity or ban the sale of the most popular and common modern rifle. We also oppose any effort to deprive individuals of their right to keep and bear arms without due process of law. We condemn frivolous lawsuits against gun manufacturers and the current administration's legal harassment of firearms dealers." This is 2016, so they're talking about
right.
the Obama
Pretty
administration in this
extensive
case.
though. Yeah,
We oppose federal licensing or registration of law-abiding gun owners, registration of ammunition, and registration of ill-fated Clinton gun restoration. Sorry, they mixed me up here because they said registration twice. The last part is restoration of the ill-fated Clinton gun ban. So that's what was in the 2016 platform. Pretty detailed. It hits all
yeah.
of the top priorities of the gun rights movement: national reciprocity, constitutional carry, um, opposition to so-called assault weapons bans or bans on the AR-15, opposition to red flag laws, opposition to lawsuits against gun makers. Pretty wide-ranging opposition to registration of firearms, and that is all gone now from the platform.
Could one? I mean, I'm grabbing at straws here, kind of, or is it grasping at straws? Either way, I'm looking for a straw. Is it possible that they're thinking, well, post Bruin, everything's solved, and we don't have to make this big of an issue? Is there some sort of political advantage to not having all this stuff listed out explicitly like they did back in 2016, or anything like that?
Well, we don't know exactly what they're thinking because they haven't said, right? We reached out to the RNC and asked why they didn't include these in the new platform, why this plank was dropped, and they just didn't respond, and they haven't said anything since then. So we don't as far as what they're saying, they aren't explaining it at all. We can speculate, right? We can go down that path, and I would imagine that if the controversy around the Republican platform in other areas like abortion or gay marriage, for instance, was another one where some of the language was changed and softened and moderated. That perhaps this is part of that push to make the platform more palatable to certain moderate voters or swing state voters, would be my best guess as to why this happened. But we don't know for sure. That's just speculation.
And we can assume, all of us here at the Gutowski Files, all our listeners and viewers can assume that you're going to be on this and following up. I assume getting some comment from the NRA or other organizations to kind of find out, suss this out, see what's going on. Do you think it'll come up at the convention next week?
Well, there's no one, as far as I can tell, looking at the schedule. In 2016, another thing that happened was Chris Cox, the director of the National Rifle Association's Institute for Legislative Action, which is their lobbying arm, their political arm. He spoke at the RNC that year in 2016. I don't see that on the schedule as of now. Okay. And obviously the RNC happens next week. So we'll have to wait and see what all gets worked out. I think Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was just added back to the schedule. So there may still be some flux on what actually happens at the Republican National Convention. But yeah, for now, I don't think you even have any major gun rights speech at the RNC